You hear that? I love the water, running water, especially when it's smooth. Not like when it's hard, like it's too much. But when it's nice and smooth, and then the birds are something else. I mean, honestly, don't you think that God created birds just so they could massage our ears? I mean, it's just something so beautiful. Like I never met, and I hope I don't, I never met anybody that said, oh, I just stupid birds always singing. You know, if you do, get the hell away from those people. I mean, if birds don't make them happy, birds singing, you know, don't make them happy, then nothing's gonna make them happy. But anywho, why talk about that, right? Well, the full moon has come and gone. Mercury retrograde is over. Maybe this is why I'm making this video, because I tried. Trust me, I have a whole bunch of footage that I shot throughout that period, and I'm just not happy with it. Everything just sounds so not good enough. Like, again, my communication skills were not up to par. You know, what I would consider quality, you know, to post, you know. I'm not saying that most of my content is, you know, A-okay, but, you know, again, there's a responsibility that I undertake in giving you this content, you know. And if I give you the wrong content, or, you know, or what I say is not clear, well, you know, I don't want to confuse you more than inform you, you know. But I came upon a lot of insights lately, and I've really taken it, like my writing skills, I have been taking them more serious, because as I mentioned in my last video, I hope I did, that if you're asking God, you know, to give you something nice, you know, bless you with abundance, and then God hands you a pencil, and you're gonna be like, well, I was looking for $1 million, instead you give me a pencil. But maybe it is so you could become a very rich, abundant person with that pencil, you know, writing. So I know that my writing has a lot to do with the ideas I have, because once I get writing, and I tap into divine intelligence, because you know that meditation is anything that lasts more than a minute or two. That means that whatever you undertake for more than 2 minutes, it could be considered a meditation, because you're focused on one thing, you know. So when I start writing, I am focusing on what I'm writing. And imagine trying to write out manifestations, or whatever you want to manifest, you know, writing it for more than 2 minutes. What's that gonna do? If holding a positive thought for 17 seconds, you know, improves your vibration and can start a sequence of this snowball of positive thinking and positive ideas, you know, writing can do the same, you know. And at the same time, you know, once you reach a particular level of, let's say, for instance, your brain goes into an alpha brainwave state, or maybe theta, because of what you're doing, for instance, writing or meditating or undertaking anything beyond 2 minutes, what you're gonna do is tap into divine intelligence. And then at that point, you will be receiving messages. You will be receiving intuitive messages or inspirations that you better write down or record them somehow, so you don't forget them, because at that point, you're tapped in, tuned in, as Abraham says. So all the insights that I've been getting from my practice of writing have been amazing, and I've been dying to share them with you. And like I said, I made a few videos that didn't pan out the way I wanted them to be, and I wasn't going to expose you to such material. So I made another one yesterday, and I was ready to post it, but then for some reason something told me, don't hold back a little bit. I thought that was just my lack of confidence that said, don't do it. But now I look back, it was my intuition, because I'm having money problems. So if you want to contribute to my channel, now is the time. And the reason is because of those core beliefs that I keep, carrying around, those beliefs that I learned when I was a child, growing up Mexican and Catholic, you grow up with guilt, shame, and unworthiness. And when your thinking or your thoughts are based in all of that, the mess that you make out of your life, it's horrendous. So in all the desperation, I implored Archangel Michael to give me strength, and I implored Metatron to give me wisdom, send me a sign, let me know what's going on, because this ain't normal. Because I've always been the kind of person who is abundant in nature. I can always see the positive side of things. I can always, manifest whatever I want. But in the last 4 years, it's been more difficult than ever. And yesterday, it finally dawned on me, it's like something's wrong. Because, I never encountered such problems, such difficult times, such obstacles. And I implored the angels for a sign, for a solution. And wouldn't you believe it, just a few minutes later, I was watching a tarot reading, and this girl, I think her name is Sunny Bell, it's in Spanish, so shout out to Sunny Bell, Adriana, and she said exactly what I was fearing, that my hang-ups were blocking all of my abundance. And I'm like, there it is, because I knew there was something wrong. And again, just so happens it was right after the Mercury retrograde. It's like, all of a sudden the floodgates of information came in, and informed me, yes, there is something you've been doing that has been blocking your abundance. I just knew there was something wrong. And sure enough, she mentioned that, my lack of confidence or self-esteem, or these self-limiting beliefs were messing me up, were blocking my abundance. And like I said, I've always been someone who has just been abundant by nature. I mean, Sagittarius, Jupiter is my planet. Jupiter, big, hunka, big kahuna, Jupiter, Zeus basically, it's a planet of prosperity basically. And for me to be going through such problems, I knew that it had something to do with the way I was raised, those beliefs, being Catholic, being full of shame and guilt and unworthiness, because that's what they raise you to be when you're Catholic. And my parents, they did what they could, but in essence, they did a lot of the damage. And this girl introduced me to something that I had already heard about. I just, when you're not ready, you're not ready. And I just kind of like let it past because I thought, well, I'm sure I'm getting out of that kind of problem, But she talked about the 5 wounds, the 5 childhood wounds. And I was like, as she was going down the list of, let me see if I can remember them: injustice, abandonment, betrayal, oh my goodness, injustice, abandonment, betrayal. Well, I can't remember the other 2, but when she was mentioning them, I was like, got him. Yeah. And I could remember specific moments when my parents were doing exactly that, humiliation. That's the 4th one. And rejection, the 5th one. So injustice, abandonment, rejection, humiliation. Betrayal. So I could remember specific moments when my parents taught me all about that, and it was the way they practiced everything, humiliating me into compliance, or not giving me the attention that I required, abandonment, the injustice of having to live under their rules, it was basically they were teenagers when they got married. My father was 17, my mom was 14. She had me at 15. These were kids having kids. So that I understand. I understand the fact that they were crude and cold and harsh, because that's how they were raised. My father was an orphan. His father died when he was 3. His mother left, married another man, and moved to New York City. So he, think about Cinderella growing up, right? I mean, with this feeling of being unwanted. John Lennon went through that. In fact, there's this part in the movie Two of Us where the guy who's playing John Lennon, he's talking to Paul. The movie has, if you've ever seen it, but it takes place in John's apartment in the Dakota building in New York, and Paul comes to visit him, and they spend the whole day together. And they meditate, they smoke pot, they're playing some tunes on the piano with Paul on the piano, and then later on they start to have a conversation, and John got deep, and I'm gonna do John. So, and the guy who was playing John was saying, I'm 35 years old, and I still think that I did something wrong. Because of everything that had happened in his life. His mom dumped him with his auntie and his uncle, which were lovely people, but still the fact that his mom dumped him, and that I ended up getting remarried, and then when he found her again, she gets run over by a car, gets taken away twice, which is exactly what happened with with Julian. His son, was taken away twice. Those are the demons that we carry, and they travel to the next generation. This is why I am adamant about getting rid of, stopping the cycle. And this is why For the longest time, I've been telling myself, this is when it stops. It stops with me. I stop it. This is not continuing on for the next generation to deal with. I'm stopping it now. I gotta find out what the hell is going on with me and with my whole clan, my whole family, and it's been this, well, I was raised the same way, so no, if it ain't right, fix it, so finding out that I have these wounds, really threw me off, pushed me into a tailspin, and that was yesterday, and I was like a zombie because I was thinking, it's like, okay, what am I gonna do with this? How can I speak about these spiritual concepts to people and try to be someone that can give good advice if I'm affected by such things? I'm still wounded. And then I thought about Chiron, the centaur. He was known as the wounded warrior. He was the guy that taught Achilles how to fight, how to, taught him higher thoughts, maybe philosophy as well. I don't know what he exactly taught him, but the fact that he taught Achilles, I was very impressed because he had been the teacher of many personalities in Greek culture. Chiron, the wounded warrior. So basically he, out of his wounds, a lot of wisdom cropped off, so just because someone is wounded or in pieces doesn't mean they don't have wisdom that they have gathered from those wounds in specific. So I thought, well, I'm gonna use my wounds to help other people that may have the same wounds and they don't know how to go about it, or maybe just the process of relating will be healing enough. And I thought, I may have these wounds, but instead of hiding them, I'm gonna prance around with them like they're medals, because it says I've been around. It says I'm a survivor. So that's what these wounds do. Not only do they teach you a lot about yourself and about life, but if they're part of your shadow, don't hide them. Sport them like a badge of honor, like medals. Medals that tell the world, I've been around and I survived. So good luck with your dealing with your shadow. I don't mean good luck in the sense of good luck with all that. I'm saying own them. Don't be ashamed of them. Because it's all a matter of perspective. You can view them as the things that get in your way, or the things that give you strength. Think about it and feel about it. I had my heart like an 8. Take it easy, Lemon Squeezy.